Hello, friends. This is Karen coming to you from Vermont Salt and Sand Studios for our yoga intermission July 4th weekend. Today we are sitting, stretching, and sitting with a focus on exercising our breath, mindfulness, and the body. It's great to have you here. And I'm just checking for sound and vision. Awesome. They are working. One of my favorite mudras is something we will practice today, the pranadhana mudra, the mudra of surrender. I was considering the notion of independence, and from a yogic perspective, what can that mean? Surrendering or being free of or allowing ourselves to be independent of the things that cause us pain and suffering, which, as we know, are things we create ourselves, our own responses. So the pranadhana mudra is one of grounding, of surrender. So I'm going to show you what it is first so that we can then move into it while I set the stage a little bit more. So we're going to take the index fingers and the pinky fingers and touch them together. Then we're going to touch the thumbs together. Then we'll take the middle fingers and curl them upward to touch the thumbs. Sorry, take the middle two fingers. So it looks like this, and it's upside down realm. So the middle two fingers are curled and touching the thumb tips. And then we take that situation and place it right around the low belly. So we're resting the outer wrists on the thighs. And everything is pointing downward. It sort of looks a little bit like a heart, or like that little game that you play about here's the church and here's the steeple. So here, seated comfortably, we press the pelvis forward a little bit, drop the shoulders, tuck the chin, and you are welcome to close your eyes or bring them at half mast, whereby you might be looking about 3 feet in front of your shins. So I selected the pranadhana mudra, the mudra of surrender, to allow us to consider first something that is not serving us well. Maybe it's something in our lives that we've created, or that we do, or that we focus on, or maybe it's another being, or maybe it's something about our past that we are hanging on to. So something that is not serving us well, that causes us suffering in some way, negative feelings, negative emotions, negative responses, toxicity, pain in the body, pain in the mind or the heart. So take a moment to consider that. It doesn't have to be anything major either. We've brought to mind something that brings a negative response from us. Now consider what would happen if we let go of or eliminated that or surrendered to that thing, whatever it might be. Take a big breath in through the nose and let it go out your mouth. Another long, full breath in from the sitting bones to the crown of the head. A little pause. Draw the belly in and the chin down. Release the breath out the mouth. And with deep awareness, imagining that your breath could release you from whatever this thing is. We take a huge full breath in. Pause for a little retention at the top, a little consideration, a little mindfulness and awareness. And then let it go. Return to a natural breath. Now bring to mind the reason you came to your mat, or whatever it is that guided you to your mat. Or maybe you have an intention that you're setting for the day. Or maybe given it is Independence weekend, you have a dedication you would like to make. Repeat that to yourself 3 times as I say the word resolve. Resolve, resolve, resolve. On the next breath in, spread the arms nice and wide. Leave the arms there as you breathe out, making space between the ribs, top to bottom, front to back, side to side. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Inhale, float your arms high overhead. Maybe the gaze lifts up toward the thumbs, even if the eyes are closed. Pause here, letting the arms feel heavy. Breathe out. Breathe in. Exhale, hands draw together at your heart. We're going to move into a traditional Tibetan breath as part of our sit, pranayama. The focus on the mind, now expanding to focus on being mindful, being aware, and combining that with the breath. We'll drop the left hand into the lap and take the first 2 fingers of your right hand. Allow them to rest right on your center forehead, just above your eyebrows. We're going to rest the ring finger on the left nostril and rest the thumb on the right nostril. And just get a feel for that for a moment. Don't forget about drawing your pelvis forward, starting to zip up very lightly the core, so the navel toward the spine. The torso stays long, encouraging the neck to be long. We'll block the right nostril gently with the thumb and breathe in through the left. Block the left, unblock the right, breathe out through the right. Block the right, open up the left, breathe in again through the left. Block the left, release the right, breathe out. Block the right, open the left, breathe in left. Close left, open up right, breathe out. All that shifts now the opposite direction. Breathe in right, block right, release left, breathe out left. Block the left, open up the right, and breathe in. The right gets blocked, release the left, breathe out. And one more round. Block left, open up right, breathe in. The right gets blocked, release the left, exhale. Block both nostrils for a moment. Release the whole hand, breathe in through the nose. A little pause at the top, belly in and up. Loosen the shoulders, tuck your chin, breathe out through the nose. Again, long breath in, nose. A slight retention at the top. Release it through your nose. Inhale through the nostrils. Hold it. Exhale through the nostrils. Now we build on that. Breath in through the nose. A pause. Drop your jaw. Release the air through the mouth. Audibly. Inhale through the nose. Retain. Let it go out the mouth. Last time, breath in through the nose. Pause. This time, a really loud sigh. Ah. And return to a natural breath, whatever that means here. Take a moment to notice what feels different. Were there seconds or moments or maybe even minutes where you felt you were not thinking? Do the nasal passages or the lungs feel more open? Do you feel more energetic or perhaps more relaxed? And remember that anytime you might be feeling stressed, anxious, concerned, over caffeinated, over sugared, the breath in through the nose and out the mouth with something audible actually guides the body automatically to soften. We'll move into our stretch portion of the program today. I'm going to go ahead and float the arms wide once again. Sit up super tall, gather in the belly, and point the palms down, or face the palms down. Now point the fingers down or toward your body. Reach outward from the center of the spine, the center of the chest, all the way to the outer wrists, as if you could make little chalk marks on the walls to either side of you. And we're going to point the fingers up, reaching the heels of the hands away. And again, fingers point down. Reach, reach, reach. Fingers point up. We're going to keep the fingers pointed up. Continue to reach the heels of the hands away from us. You might even feel this in your thumbs. And create some circles, almost like a wipe on, wipe off. We start with a wipe on. Make the circles bigger so the diameter is getting bigger. That might slow things down or not. Eyes are closed or open, your choice, whatever works for you here. And then widen the circles. Washing the windows, wash on. And we reverse direction, starting small. This is the wipe off. Maybe you're going quicker. And then we broaden the diameter. And really big circles, like you're painting something beautiful in the air. Instead of finger paints, it's heel of the hand paints. And we pause. Flip the palms toward the sky. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale, lift the arms, press the palms together. Intertwine your fingers and send the palms to the sky. That might cause your arms to shorten a little bit. It certainly does mine. The elbows bend a little bit more. Draw the sitting bones down. Draw the tailbone forward. Loosen the calves. Breathe in. Exhale, tilt over toward the left. As we lift the heart toward the sky, maybe the gaze lifts. And the right sitting bone is really working toward the earth. On an inhale, lift up, get super tall. See if the torso can get longer. Tuck the lowest ribs on the front body toward your bony hips. Breathe in. Exhale, tilt over to the left. To the right. The opposite side of what you just did. And both sits bones are working to adhere to the earth like they're Velcroed there. Lift the heart. Inhale, lift high, release the fingers, a little twinkle of the fingers toward the sky. And on an exhale, sweep the hands behind you. They're on the earth. The fingertips point toward your bottom. We're going to lift, 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 lift from the heart and the shoulders. Lengthen the torso a little more. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And imagine there's a beautiful string of light coming from your heart all the way up to some being you love unconditionally, and you're sharing the beautiful energy of your heart upward to them. Maybe like you're lighting a star in the sky. Gather the belly in, stack the shoulders over the hips. Float the arms wide again, and this time as they come in front of you, the palms will press together. You lock the arms back into the shoulders. Intertwine your fingers again, this time the awkward way, the opposite thumb and index finger on the top. And we bend the elbows outward, press the palms to the heart. Loosen the shoulders a little, breathe in. Exhale a twist over to the left. We're moving from the navel area, not the hips. Each breath in, spine gets longer. Each breath out, you rinse out the toxins with your twist. Maybe the left arm floats behind. Gaze can follow it. And maybe the right arm floats in front, working for parallel arms. As we return through center, arms sweep high and the palms press together overhead. This time, elbows bend so the fingertips come to the nape of the neck or between the shoulder blades. Once again, we lift from the hips to the low ribs, all the way around the body, so all sides of the body, all directions. You might even intertwine the hands or the fingers, and on an exhale, we'll take a tilt over to the right. Press the backs of the hands to the head now with the fingers intertwined. Open up the elbows a little bit more. Use the belly to rise up. Keep the hands as they are and tilt to the opposite side. As you lift the shoulders over the hips, our hands come toward the sky. They remain with the fingers intertwined. And once again, we bring the palms to the heart, the elbows nice and wide. Breathe in. Exhale, twist to the right. Take that again. And on the next breath out, as you twist, unfurl the right arm like a flag behind you. The gaze follows toward the thumb. Perhaps the other arm floats open as well. As you return front and center, hands will come to your sides, fingertips on the earth. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, hinge at your hips, sweep the arms in front of you, looking for a long spine. Gather the belly in, lengthen the spine again, and as you exhale, fingertips walk forward. Go as far as you feel like you can go, then pause. We'll breathe in. And as we press the belly in toward the spine, we walk the hands forward a little bit more until we've reached the edge once again, and then the head can drop. Walk the hands backward, lift upward, send the hands behind so you can shift onto your sacrum and switch the cross of your feet. We'll sweep the arms in front once again on an exhale. Walk the fingers forward, a little crawly. It's like two cousin its. You go as far as you can, then stop. Breathe in, fill the belly. Extend the spine from the hips. Gather the navel in toward the spine and walk the hands forward. Once again, as far as you can. This time the head drops. Hands walk back toward the hips. I'm going to shift off my prop. So if you are on a prop, you're going to find your way off it and into a seat. We're going to extend the legs in front of us, but keep a little bend in the knees. We're going to move into a forward fold, which will then follow up with one from a standing posture. We want the knees bent, lifting from the hips up to the shoulders. Breathe in, breathe out. Float the arms in front. They're parallel to one another. Breathe in. Lock them back into your shoulders. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Shift from the hips forward. So we're not moving downward yet. We're just reaching forward as far as we can. Breathe in. Breathe out. In and out. One more round in. Heart reaches for the shins, and then maybe the hands drop to the floor, to your shins, to your calves, to your ankles, or to your feet. You open up the collarbones. Inhale, rise to your seat. So we've moved the spine in all directions. We're now going to open the hips a little bit by bringing the soles of the feet together. Let's have a nice big diamond inside the legs. Instead of rounding into the spine, we'll work our way to seated, but not a super arched low back. So tuck the pelvis forward and lift the heart. See if you can keep that feeling as you bring the wrists underneath the ankles. Then maybe the fingers or the palms of the hands come either to the outer part of the ankles or the front, or maybe all the way to the tops of your feet. Here we're going to inhale and reach the heart forward, finding a long spine first as you place the sits bones on the earth. Take that again. Breathe in, reach forward. Then press the thighs away and down with your elbows. Round your spine, scoop your belly in, drop your head. Starfish pose, also known as butterfly pose. So you have a nice choice of sea creature or flying creature. Using a breath out to protect the low spine, breath out, rise back up to your seat. Lengthen the left leg onto the earth and point the right knee to the sky. There's some space between the right foot and the left leg. Press the big toe mound of the right foot into the earth. You can take your left hand or elbow outside your right knee and your right hand behind you. Sit up super tall. Scoop the pelvis forward. Breathe in. Exhale for a twist over to the right. We're reaching the left heel away from us, pressing the calf and the thigh into the earth. Check in with the right shoulder. It loves to sneak up by your ear, so see if you can soften it. And imagine this is not just a twist, but also a heart opener. How does that change what you do? How do you free yourself from the expectations of this pose, expectations which rarely serve us well? Not just in this pose, but in life. Gather the belly in, draw your way through center, and we'll switch it up. Right leg extends long, heel reaches forward, big toe mound to the left foot on the ground. Inhale tall, breathe out, twist. Return front and center. And across your ankles, find your way to roll over your ankles. Come into a tabletop or moving in just for a moment as a setup to find our way to down dog. We want to square things up and begin to feel the micro movement of the tailbone downward and the shoulders outward, like you're creating real estate between your shoulder blades. Belly is lightly active, so imagine you've just started to zip up a wetsuit, and it's gotten just above your navel. Walk the hands forward 3 inches. Tuck your toes under. Gently lift the knees off the mat, but stay low here as you bring the sitting bones toward the heels and the chest toward the thighs. Lengthen your neck. Breathe in. Slowly exhale. The heels make their way toward the mat, but it's a direction, not a destination, so they don't have to reach. Lift the hips up toward the upper corner of your space and check that your feet have at least 2 fist distance between them. Hard to do because the hands are on the ground, but you might imagine that. And pedal in and out of your dog. Beginning to feel a little work in the calves, maybe the thighs, the shoulders. The belly's still slightly active. It's helping keep the energy out of your wrists. Rise to the tippy toes. Press your chest toward your thighs. Look past your hands. Stay on your tiptoes as long as you can as you walk toward your hands, although eventually the heels will come to the mat. This is a forward fold, Uttanasana. Fingertips on the earth or a block. Knees bent as much as they need to be so the belly is resting on the thighs. Drop your head. If you like, ragdoll, elbows bend, hands cup your elbows. Hands release. They glide up to the shins. Press the shins away, lift halfway up for a long spine. Pause here, shoulders toward the hips, belly in and up, sitting bones reach behind. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Super heavy upper body as you unravel to standing, moving into mountain pose, where your shoulders will stack over your hips. Your hands will be by your sides with the palms facing forward. Your chin will be lightly tucked. Apropos for Vermont, maybe imagining you're a green mountain. Lift the arms wide and high overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart, Samastihi. Return to what you considered at the beginning of the practice in terms of something that doesn't serve you, something that causes you suffering in the mind, in the heart, in the body. And consider what it is about that you could let go of to release yourself from sadness or jealousy or grief or pain. Drop your hands by your sides. Inhale, lift the arms wide and high. Open up the heart. Press the palms together overhead. Shift the hips forward just a couple inches. See if you can lengthen the torso again. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, and maybe the gaze lifts upward toward your hands. Breathe in. Soften your knees, forward fold. Exhale. Again, halfway lift, breath in or out. Exhale, forward fold. Same forward fold as we did when we were seated. We just happen to have our feet on the ground. Nod your head and shake your head, and we'll take one more time this sort of sunrise, lifting up on a breath in or out to sweep the arms wide and high overhead. And then the sort of sunset where everything starts to soften and lower down into your forward fold. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, hands plant. The left foot steps way to the back of the mat. Take your time setting this up, runner's lunge. Right knee comes just above the right ankle. You're on the ball of the back foot and your fingertips. Reach, reach, reach with that left heel. You're working to make that leg as long and straight as you can. On your exhale, press into the front foot, extend the right knee, and fold over your leg. You're sort of folding, not reaching the heart toward the right shin. The heart's coming kind of straight down and toward your back knee. Inhale, peel forward back into a runner's lunge. Exhale, lengthen and fold. Inhale, runner's lunge. Exhale, extend and fold. This time, stay here for a moment. Maybe walk the fingers back a little bit and see if you can lift the ball of the right foot off the mat. Ball of the foot comes to the mat, fingers sneak forward, back knee drops to the earth. Untuck your toes. Make sure your right knee is directly above your right ankle, so shift around if that's not true. Left hand to the earth, right arm high. We find a twist. Spine gets long, heart reaches forward on the breath in. And we twist on the breath out. It's as if the navel orbits the spine and the right hand is stacking. Right fingertips, right wrists, the elbow, the shoulder, the left shoulder, elbow, and wrist. Right hand comes to the right thigh. Use the belly and the hand to lift up. Modified Anjaneyasana, your knee down lunge. Pressing energy into the heel of the front foot and the top of the right. If you need to shift your back knee around so that you're not right on your kneecap, allow that to happen. Hands draw by the sides. We sink down a little here. Drop the hands to the outsides of your front foot. Tuck your back toes under. Extend into a runner's lunge just for a moment. And then draw the back heel down to the earth and lengthen your front leg for Parsvottanasana. Really going to work as if the right thigh is spinning outward to draw the right hip behind us. You might be on your fingertips or grab a block. Press energy into the whole left foot behind you and let the head hang heavy like it's a boulder on a bungee cord. Loosen your shoulders. Hands move forward a little as you gather the belly in to step the back foot up to meet the front. We're going to sit down like we're sitting into a chair, but not quite all the way. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Hands drop behind you, fingers intertwine or they curl and hook. Widen the collarbones. Sit a little deeper, send the energy into your heels, draw the belly in. Thigh bones like they're spinning toward each other this time. And a fold over your legs, hinging at your hips. Hands stay bound and maybe they float from your spine. Exhale, hands release to the earth. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, runner's lunge, right foot to the back of the mat. Take your time. Finding your balance, this triangular shape is the strongest foundation. Allow it to be so. Left knee over left ankle. Nice long stance. Right leg as straight as you can make it. Breathe in. Exhale. Unbend your front knee and fold forward toward the leg. Inhale, runner's lunge. Shoulders reach back. Exhale, lengthen and fold. Inhale, runner's lunge. And exhale, lengthen and fold. This time, hands might walk backward, and the ball of the left foot lifts off the mat. Deepening the fold, it's as if you're dragging the mat backward with your left heel. Sole of the foot back to the mat, hands move forward, runner's lunge, and we drop the back knee to the mat. Untuck the toes. For our twist, left arm high. As we face the nose down, left hand comes to the left thigh. Use the belly and that hand to lift yourself up. Hands stack on the thigh, modified Anjaneyasana. We're opening up the hip flexor on the right side. If you feel weebly wobbly, left foot moves out to the left. Activate the right glutes and the right hamstrings. Then press the shoelace side of your back foot to the earth. Imagine it's like a major movie star kiss. And then the left heel presses in. Hands plant around your front foot. Return to a runner's lunge for a moment, our interstitial. And spin the back heel to the mat. You might shorten your stance a little bit. Unbend your front knee, Parsvottanasana. Maybe your left hand helps your left thigh spin outward, away from you, in order to draw the left hip back. Hands crawl forward, front knee bends, come to the ball of the back foot, and step the left foot back to meet the right. We pause in high plank, feeling the power. Drop the knees so they're right under your hips. Tuck your toes, keep your hips where they are. Anahatasana, inchworm pose. The hands walk forward until the forehead, chin, or chest is on the mat. If the shoulders start to get cranky with you, you can always bend the elbows outward toward the edges of your mat to bring the thumbs to touch. If your chest and your head resist coming to the mat, maybe you place a prop under both of those areas or one. Tops of the feet connected to the earth. Imagine that the space behind the heart is like a little cup, and it's collecting all the beauty of nature floating around, the rain, the colors, the scent of the fields and the forest, the tastes, the sounds of the fauna, the breeze and its touch, and all that beauty that you're capturing in the cup, this little vessel behind your heart, this little space, gathers inward and starts to draw downward as if it's wrapping your heart in a hug. And come back to your intention, your dedication, or your motivation. And feel that spread throughout the entire body, mindfully aware of the power you have to be independent of that which does not serve you. Gather the tailbone down and the belly in. Send the sitting bones to the heels for child's pose. If you chose Balasana 1 with the knees together, You might bring the top of the head to the mat rather than the forehead and swing the arms around behind you so the hands connect to your feet. Arms come in front. Lift yourself up. Cross your ankles to roll over your feet. We're going to come back to a seat for another twist and a hip opener before we go back to our final sit. For this twist, let's go ahead and keep both knees bent and drop the left knee away from you. Right hand comes behind left elbow or hand. Come to the outer part of the right knee. We sit up super tall. Zip up the belly and twist over to the right. Draw yourself front and center and shift it the other way. It's like a little rocking chair to the right. And return front and center. Both knees drop outward. You may take starfish / butterfly, which we did earlier with a big diamond inside the legs, or for Baddha Konasana, you draw the heels toward the sitting bones or the sitting bones toward the heels, sneaking them toward each other. You can take the thumbs inside the arches of your feet, inner arches, and use the elbows to press the knees away. You might stay upright here as long as it feels okay on your low back, where you might tilt the pelvis forward, or you could find a rounding in the spine over your legs. Rise back to your seat for a little spine reset. Hands outside your knees. Draw the knees high and bring them together in front of you. You don't want the heels too close to the glutes, so maybe you cousin it your feet forward. Wrap your arms around your shins. Scoop that belly in a little bit more, and then round your spine as if you're rounding from the tip of the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. The head drops. See if the shoulders can create space between themselves and the ears. Giving yourself a little hug, maybe a little deeper, wrist to wrist or elbow to elbow. Sorry, hand to elbow and hand to elbow. Rise back up to your seat. Find a comfortable meditative seat. Sukhasana could be what you need, or maybe you find a chair or place your back against the wall. We're going to work back into our Pranadhana mudra, bringing the tips of the index fingers and pinky fingers together and the tips of the thumbs together. Curling the middle two fingers so that they come and meet the thumb tips, and then turning it all upside down with the backs of the wrists resting on your thighs. Shoulders relaxed, pelvis forward, a zipping up of the belly and a tucking of the chin, maybe the eyes closed. In Pranadhana mudra, we'll find a mantra. With deep awareness, I surrender that which I no longer need. With deep awareness, I surrender that which I no longer need. With deep awareness, I surrender that which I no longer need. With deep awareness, I surrender that which I no longer need. No effort to the breath, just allowing it to flow. Maintaining your mantra or moving to a focus on the breath. Belly is helping hold us up. All the muscles you've been building with the body work, the asana practice, supporting the spine, the heart, all the organs. On a breath in, spread your arms wide, right out to the sides. Reach those fingers, spread them like wing feathers. Draw the belly in, loosen the knees. Inhale, arms float high overhead, palms pressed together there. Keep this length as you exhale, maybe get a little longer. Breathe in. Exhale, hands come to your heart as if they have found their home there. We take a moment to return to intention, motivation, establish a dedication. We close our practice chanting Om, or perhaps simply not chanting and letting the sense of Om ride out on an exhale. Long, full breath in through the nose. The chant allows us to share the merits of the practice, share our intentions, and send out our dedications. Allow the thumb knuckles to connect right at the center of your forehead, just above your eyebrows. On this weekend of America's independence, we celebrate and practice our ability for our hearts, our minds, and our bodies to be independent of those things that no longer serve us. We honor one another, completing our practice. Namaste. As always, it's terrific to share this practice with you. If you have questions, please drop a note, private message me or Salt and Sand Studios on Facebook or Instagram, or give us a call, 802-583-2559, or contact at saltandsandstudios.com. I hope everyone has a wonderful remainder of their day. I am Karen, Salt and Sand Studios in Vermont. If you're ever in and around this place, come by for a visit, maybe glass artwork or to practice yoga live and in person. Hope to practice with you again soon. Thank you. Awesome, Nancy. Thank you.